welcome back to News to Assange, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And I'm not going to really do an intro because it's not really necessary. And honestly, I don't really feel like showing my face at a time like this. We're dealing with a very intense and very sensitive situation, and that is, of course, regarding Insomniac Games. If you guys know by now, Insomniac Games was recently hacked, and a threat was made to them if they didn't actually deliver either $2 million or I guess it was 50 Bitcoin to this ransomware company that decided to put out all of their information, including games and leaks and, of course, personal information out there to the public, which was released today. They stuck by their word. They would do that basically if they weren't paid either $2 million or the 50 Bitcoin. And it has been done, and it's really devastating, and I can totally feel the blow that Insomniac Games is feeling right now. Now, you may think like, well, why do I care? Like, why do you care so much? This is a company you don't even work for. Well, it kind of bothers me, and also we are living in a time where, like, you can't really get excited for anything anymore. I already explained it in my last video about a week ago, and I can't believe that was a week ago. But yes, they did say that in about 7 days' time, which is today, they will leak out all the information, including personal info and employees' information, upcoming game titles, and everything like that. One of which I had theorized that we're going to be getting, but for the sake of Insomniac Games and out of respect for that studio, I'm not going to be naming any upcoming title projects. I'm not going to be showing any footage because I don't think YouTube would allow it regardless. I'm not going to be showing any pictures. I'm not going to show a single pixel or read any information as far as like what titles to be expecting from Insomniac Games. I'm sorry that I can't really speak straight right now. It's just like I feel angry for Insomniac Games, and I'm sure a lot of you can understand what I feel like right now, because reading this really infuriates me and just makes my blood boil, and I do apologize. You ever get so upset that your words start to like spill out and you start to like stutter a little bit? That's what's exactly happening to me right now. So, coming to you from GameDeveloper.com. At a glance, hacker group Rycedia publicly dumped 1.67 terabytes of data harvested from Insomniac Games onto a darknet link site. Personal documents, Slack conversations, and other sensitive data in the theft puts Insomniac Games workers at risk. Members of the ransomware hacker group Rycedia have publicly shared thousands of documents acquired in their cyber attack on Sony subsidiary Insomniac Games, exposing employees' personal information just days before the holidays. Australian cybersecurity news site Cyber Daily reviewed that the contents of the documents, which also contained legal contracts and details of Insomniac Games' upcoming releases. According to the outlet, the leaked information appears to include 1 to 9 employment contracts, termination documents, photos of passports, and archived Slack channel conversations with communications between employees. I cannot imagine, I can't even fathom what the employees at Insomniac Games must be feeling right now. The fact that your own information, like your passport, let's say that's put out in the world, right? Let's say somebody gets a hold of your passport out there, you who's watching. Wouldn't you feel like you've been invaded? It's so invasive for somebody to steal your personal information, your personal documents, and put it out there in the public for the world to see. It feels so weird. It sends shivers down my spine. Just reading this is really getting me really aggravated and so upset right now. A member of Rycedia, the fact that somebody got to speak to a member from this group of troglodytes is ridiculous. A member of Rycedia speaking with Cyber Daily indicated that the attack was launched for purely financial reasons and that Sony's investigation on the attack would be best held in its own backyard. And from what I know, since they were speaking to this member had a VPN, and that's how they attack these companies. They hack into the system, they use a VPN so they can't be tracked, and they're just a bunch of cowards. The exposure of sensitive information on Insomniac Games' upcoming games, Marvel's Wolverine and Marvel's Spider-Man 2, is of the secondary concern to workers who have now been effectively doxxed, but it comes with its own demoralizing consequences. Developers eager to show the world their work when it was ready now have to watch the information get poured over by overzealous fans. Developers on social media are already reacting with outrage over the invasive act, and as they should, by the way. Remedy Entertainment posted its own statement in support of Insomniac Games, writing, "After all the effort and dedication they have poured into their games, they didn't deserve this. No one does." And that's absolutely true. Even, I don't care how much you hate a game, let's just say. I don't care how much you hate a studio or hate the games that they make. Nobody deserves this. At the end of the day, these are just a bunch of employees who are there to do a job. And the fact that their information is getting poured out there for the rest of the world to see because of these incredible, inconsiderate bastards. I'm trying not to like use heavy foul language, by the way. Even though I can censor it, I just don't feel like using any censored beeps. I'm still gonna try to keep it civil here, but this is ridiculous. These hackers also leaked employees' personal information, which is truly disgraceful and shameful, which I'm quoting from one of the other developer studios who are supporting this. A lot of the fans and a lot of the other developing game studios are supporting Insomniac Games, and they're standing in solidarity with them, which I am so happy to see. At least some good can come out of this. Wushu Studios and That's No Moon, two companies founded by ex-Sony developers, also posted their own statements in solidarity with their former colleagues. Ransomware attacks comes with serious consequences, as noticed by Kotaku. Sony's video game division faced multiple cyber attacks in 2023, though this December assault appears to be the most wide-reaching and impactful individuals developers. And I think it's like the most impactful and the most worst case scenario, the worst hacking ever in history. Developers Rockstar Games and Rocksteady Studios have also had to grapple with theft of sensitive data of upcoming games in the last year. Sony has been the target of major cyber attacks for the last decade, with the most comparable one to this month being the hacking of the Sony motion pictures in 2014. The data done from that assault also exposed personal information of employees and let a slew of sensitive documents pour out into the public eye. So the ransomware attack on CD Projekt Red, which happened back in 2021, left some developers unable to access work systems in critical time period for the studio. And it goes on and on after this. At worst, they find themselves victimized by bad actors who immediately exploit sensitive data while watching the world pour over sensitive documents, screenshots, and game footage. It's nearly impossible to contain the spread of such information once it's proliferated, but it's worth remembering the sharing of such secrets comes with a high price. And I couldn't agree more. This is ridiculous. The fact that people like this out there exist and they got nothing better to do. And you know what? You want to know what the best part is? For years, Sony has been hacked. And I've always asked myself this question: what's up with Sony security or PlayStation? Why can't they get their security straight? How come they don't have better security with better firewalls, with, more protection? How come it's seemingly so easy to hack into Sony? And they've faced these kinds of threats before, obviously. One of the biggest ones that happened way back in 2011 or so. And a lot of the times when these ransomwares occur, Sony never caves in. So you got to hand it to Sony for having strong willpower and not caving in to the demands of people like this out there. And I gotta applaud Sony and Insomniac Games for not, caving in, for agreeing to pay $2 million or giving 50 Bitcoin. They let this happen, which is fine. They know it's gonna hurt, but overall, knowing Insomniac Games being the amazing game developing studio that they are, they're going to deliver heavy hitters regardless. Even if we know what titles to expect, people are sure going to buy these games that are coming out in the future. In the end, Insomniac Games is going to win, no matter what threats may come their way. It sucks to see this happening, and I feel so sorry for the Insomniac Games employees out there. And I really hope they pull through this, and I hope nobody ends up getting hurt, because as it is, a lot of damage has been done, and stuff like this, especially to whoever you are out there who's doing these hacks and ransomware and pouring all of this personal information from like Insomniac Games employees, whoever you are out there, you're not winning. You're only making it worse. And speaking of making it worse, to everybody else who keeps retweeting or quoting or whatever, posting information about the upcoming game slate of Insomniac Games, this is, upcoming games, you're not making it better by spreading that information. In fact, you're making it worse. You're only contributing to the problem. So do me a favor out there, those of you who are watching, if you have Twitter or something or Instagram, don't repost the upcoming slate of Insomniac games. Don't do that. It doesn't help at all whatsoever. You're only contributing to the problem, and it just makes it a lot worse. That's all I got to say tonight, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.